In a world before modern medicine, before ultrasounds and blood tests, the ancient Egyptians had already developed something remarkable: pregnancy tests, 3,500 years ago. But this wasn't just about confirming pregnancy. The Egyptians believed this simple test could tell them something that we struggle to know even with today's technology: the gender of an unborn child. To understand ancient Egyptian views on gender, we need to start at the beginning, quite literally, with conception and birth. The Egyptians' pregnancy test was surprisingly sophisticated. A woman would urinate on barley and wheat seeds daily, then monitor their growth. If neither grew, she wasn't pregnant. But if they sprouted, not only was she with child, the type of seed that grew fastest supposedly predicted the baby's gender. Barley growing faster? Congratulations, it's a boy. Wheat growing faster? You're having a girl. And here's the truly remarkable thing. When modern scientists tested this method in 1963, they found it had a 70% accuracy rate, likely due to hormone levels affecting seed growth differently. The Ebers Papyrus, dating to around 1550 BCE, contains this and other methods for determining the sex of an unborn child. One involved examining the color of a pregnant woman's urine. Another observed the patterns of veins on her breasts. The Egyptians weren't alone in these efforts. Ancient Chinese gender prediction involved a chart using the mother's age and conception month. Greeks believed male fetuses were carried on the right side, females on the left. But for the Egyptians, gender determination wasn't just about curiosity or preparation. It connected deeply to their understanding of creation itself and the cosmic forces that shape their world. Because this was just one of many fascinating ways the ancient Egyptians understood and expressed gender. To truly understand gender in ancient Egypt, we need to look to their gods. Isis, one of Egypt's most powerful deities, embodied feminine power as the throne goddess. The very symbol of kingship was feminine in Egyptian culture. Her husband, Osiris, represented masculine power, but with a twist. After being murdered and dismembered, Osiris was reassembled by Isis, who then conceived their son, Horus, from his reconstructed body. In Egyptian creation myths, gender complementarity was essential. The sky goddess Nut arched over earth, god Geb. Their union created the world as Egyptians knew it. The creator deity Atum was considered to possess both masculine and feminine aspects, necessary to create life without a partner. Atum was described as both father and mother of the gods. Look at Hapi, god of the Nile's annual flood. He's depicted with a male body but with pendulous breasts, representing the river's ability to nurture like a mother, while bringing forth life-giving waters with masculine potency. Gender transformation appears frequently in Egyptian mythology. The nurturing goddess Hathor could transform into the violent lioness Sekhmet. The god Seth shifted between male and female forms. These fluid conceptions of divine gender had profound impacts on how Egyptians understood gender in their own society. And nowhere was this more evident or more politically charged than in the question of who could wear Egypt's crown. In most ancient societies, rulership was exclusively male. Egypt was different. Hatshepsut began as regent for her young stepson around 1479 BCE. But within a few years, she had taken unprecedented steps. She declared herself pharaoh, not queen, but pharaoh, and began to be depicted with the traditional false beard and male attire of kingship. Inscriptions referred to Hatshepsut using male pronouns in her role as king, while using female pronouns in her role as God's wife. She was simultaneously male and female in official representations. After her death, many of her monuments were defaced, her name struck from records. For years, Egyptologists thought this was because of her gender. We now believe it was political, an attempt to regularize succession through her stepson's line. Hatshepsut wasn't alone. At least 6 women ruled as pharaoh in Egypt's long history. Others, like Nefertiti, wielded enormous power alongside their husbands. But what about ordinary Egyptians? Archaeological evidence and legal documents tell us that women in Egypt had rights that would have been unthinkable in Greece, Rome, or Mesopotamia. Women could own property, run businesses, and initiate divorce. Marriage contracts often specified equal division of assets. Women could represent themselves in court without male guardians. Though men and women had different social roles, these weren't as rigidly defined as in other ancient societies. Women worked as priestesses, musicians, mourners, midwives, and even physicians. In the home, gender roles were complementary rather than strictly hierarchical. The Egyptian word for husband literally meant brother, es,